Hi everyone, this is Morsalin. In this video, let's talk about 5 ways to gain control over your emotions. Have you been feeling stressed, sad, or disappointed during the last several months? Before you start repressing those feelings or wishing they would go away, remember that all feelings are meant to be felt. Feelings communicate your needs and give you feedback on your current situation. So, how do you listen to your emotions and respond to them instead of reacting? Emotions are complex or profound. They shape our experiences, decisions, and interactions. Yet, navigating them can be difficult. Sometimes so much so that we can experience something that psychologists term as emotional dysregulation, where we feel so overwhelmed by a surge of emotions that our nerve system becomes activated and dysregulated. And while emotions don't necessarily need to be controlled, they do need to be managed in a way that means they don't take over your life or jeopardize your well-being. Fortunately, there are strategies and tools to help you regulate your emotions and manage any strong feelings you're experiencing appropriately. Practice mindfulness meditation, grounding you in the present moment. Mindfulness meditation allows you to recognize and acknowledge your feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness meditation, you can train yourself to become an observer of your thoughts and feelings. It teaches you not to judge yourself or jump to conclusions, but simply to notice what's going on inside. If mindfulness is new to you, we have your back. If you're not using effective self-regulation strategies, those poor coping skills are not going to cut it when you face challenging situations, says Assistant Professor George Buzzell, a neurocognitive researcher at FIU, and that can really be a big problem, he adds. Buzzell studies the brain's executive functions, which is a fancy way of saying the system your brain uses to monitor and adapt itself as it receives new information. We currently know that the system has 3 branches: working, memory, inhibition, and task switching. At its core, emotional regulation is your ability to use these 3 functions to make use of your emotions. Have you ever noticed yourself getting emotional and then forgetting saying something you don't mean or struggling to get tasks done? That's what poor emotional regulation looks like. That means that your executive functions need some tools. Lucky for us, emotional regulation is a skill that can be improved upon with some research-based techniques. Number 1, self-care. Basic functions, because of lack of sleep and loneliness, can be impaired as a result of stressful situations. To have a healthy relationship with your emotions, the key is to keep your executive function system healthy, and that starts with self-care. Buzzell emphasizes the impact of sleep and stress on your executive functions. It has been shown that a lack of sleep can impair your self-regulation, meaning you may have less control over your responses to your emotions, which is why you are snappy when you are tired. Sometimes your negative emotions can keep you falling asleep, creating a vicious cycle, further promoting the problem. This can also happen with stress, meaning having a healthy stress reduction system can also help your executive functions. So what's the solution? Find activities you enjoy and incorporate them into your daily routine, like journaling and exercise. If you struggle with stress or sleep, the Healthy Living Problem offers sleep and stress management consultations. Number 2, maintain healthy relationships. We can also use healthy relationships to regulate emotions by having a trusted friend, a loved one to confide in, which is why you usually feel better after venting to a friend. Socializing can help to calm your mind and can help regulate your body's physical response to emotions. Although we cannot see people face to face often right now, you don't want to cut yourself off from people you were previously close to. Buzzell recommends trying to maintain previous social connections as much as possible in safe ways like Funself, Zoom calls, or outdoor socially distant hangouts because they are good for your mental health. Number 3, stop suppressing and start reappraising. 2 of the most studied emotional regulation techniques are called reappraisal and suppression. Suppression is when you try to stop yourself from feeling emotions. When you do this, we often find that negative emotions return stronger than before. Buzzell recommends practicing reappraisal instead. Reappraisal is a changing the way you think about a negative emotion before having a response. For example, if you made a mistake and feel disappointed, you can tell yourself that it was a learning experience, and then you are more likely to have a positive response instead of a negative one. This promotes a growth mindset, which studies show promotes healthier relationships with emotions. The good news is that people can actually change how they regulate their emotions to be more in the line with reappraisal. Number 4, practice mindfulness. One way to practice non-judgmental awareness is to meditate, and it's a lot of easier than you might think. Simply taking 5 to 10 minutes a day to notice what your body and mind feel like can help you gain an understanding of your emotional habits. This can act as a practice for you when you experience emotions in your regular life. When meditating, pay close attention to any emotions that may arise and how your instinct tells you to respond. You can ask yourself, what kind of emotions arise and how often do they come? How does your body feel when they arise? How does your mind respond? Are there a judgment when emotions arise? Is that response helpful? Is there a better way to respond? Number 5, prevent emotional outbursts. If you have ever blown something small out of proportion, you probably felt pretty bad afterward. The good news is that Basil believes that the best way to manage explosive emotional experiences is through a regular practice of prevention. He recommends practicing reappraisal daily with small instances. This makes it less likely that you will yell at someone the next time Zoom kicks you out of class. The problem is, if it's really intense in this situation, that's not the time to try to do some mindfulness or reappraisal strategies for the first time. Basil says, having a healthy relationship with your emotions is more likely to make challenging times easier by preventing tense emotional imperfections. If you have been struggling with controlling your emotions, know that it's normal for you to not feel like yourself during unusual times. While we are waiting for the world to go back to normal, don't forget to take care of your emotional wellness. Practicing these techniques can help you to grow a grasp on your emotions and help you relax, feel good, and be well. You are not alone in feeling this way. Some people naturally have heightened emotional responses, past traumas, ingrained habits from childhood, or even genetic predispositions can be the cause, or it might be the brain's way of alerting you to something that, beneath the surface, holds more significance than it appears. Using mindfulness or therapy to get to the root cause can provide clarity. Everyone has their unique emotional rhythm. However, frequent mood swings or outbursts can sometimes signal underlying issues. Factors like stress, hormonal imbalances, mental health conditions, or certain medications can play a role. Monitor the triggers and patterns of these swings. It might be worth seeking emotional support if they are impacting your daily life. Stay active. Physical activity releases natural mood-lifting chemicals into your body. Whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, or exercise, class physical activity helps release pent-up emotions. It makes you feel good, putting you in a better position to manage your reactions. You can also help regulate your emotions with mindful movement. If you found this content helpful and insightful,